Hey there, you're listening to 94.3 The X No Co-Alt. I'm Big Dave, and today I've got an awesome artist. It's getting a ton of traction as of late. We've been spinning his single, The Break, a ton over the past few months. Newest single is called Tokyo Rose, released in April. Also absolutely fantastic. And it's a pleasure to introduce Sean of Blame My Youth. Welcome to the show.
Big Dave, thanks for having me. Happy to be here,
Of course. And start off, you've been touring, all of that.
Yep.
I was wondering, what is the best roadside attraction? If you're the kind of person who stops to do
bathroom break when you really need one. We just ran into that issue. Roadside attraction. I think some of my favorite spots are the little gas stations, the little truck stops. But not like the Pilot, not the Loves, like the really we were up in Wisconsin and we stopped off, or like Buc-ee's. Okay, let's just go there. Buc-ee's. Have you heard of Buc-ee's?
Oh yeah, we got one in Johnstown. Haven't been yet.
You guys have one of those? That's the best.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I feel like they pump oxygen. It's kind of like being in a casino. You walk in there, if you're kind of hungover or dead, you walk in there and it's like electric.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, dude. Buc-ee's is cool because they got all the food and. What's the other one? Man, I can't think. Buc-ee's the only one that's popping in my head right now.
I've heard good things about the barbecue there.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
Seriously.
So good. And they have the little Buc-ee's nuts or Buc-ee's snack mix. Oh, sorry, Buc-ee nuggets.
Buc-ee nuggets?
Yes, Buc-ee nuggets. Buc-ee nuggets, dude. Big Dave, you got to get yourself some Buc-ee nuggets.
Got to get some nuggets, yeah.
Oh, dude, but I will say it's just popping me right now. Casinos. That's our favorite roadside.
Ooh, okay.
we realized how much we are all a little addicted to gambling kind of recently.
Okay.
And it's been good to us. So yeah, whenever we see a casino, if we have time, we stop.
Again, this is David at 94.3 The X No Co-Alt, and I'm sitting down with Sean from Blame My Youth. So many people know you from this project at this point. But I know that you've been working on, you've done music for shows and video games.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yeah. So I had a band out of Chicago called Empires, and we were like a touring band for 8 years, ping pong ball between New York and LA.
Right.
And we did that for 8 years, and then I kind of got at the very end, we finally signed a deal, signed to a major. Everything was going well, but I was so done. We were on our way to play Letterman. And before we played that, everything in my body is okay, I'm out. But we had one last little final hurrah moment. And then I got the gig writing in LA. So I moved out and just started writing songs. And the first artist I linked up with, it was one of the first sessions out there. He goes by Nudes, NVDES. And he's like, here, dude, wear this kimono and wear these crazy glasses. And here's a wireless mic. And I've got this beat. And why don't you just go freestyle, whatever you're feeling? I'm like, I've never done that, but okay. He's like, go over to the sunshine over here. And I walked in, the first thing I did was ooh la la la, ooh la la la. And he wrote this really ridiculous song called Ooh La 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 that ended up being in Samsung commercials and Apple commercials.
Whoa.
And yeah, it started everything. I wasn't writing for sync, but we started getting all these commercials and stuff like that. And then that led to writing with artists. We had Oliver Tree join a session once.
No way.
And that was the first time writing, and we wrote a song that he ended up putting out. And that was the foray into writing with artists because I loved that day. That day was just it was the same sort of thing. It was wild writing with Josh because Josh is Nudes and he's crazy. He's he's just really eccentric dude that just is all about don't write the lyric down, just freestyle it. And Oliver's the same way. So I just got up on a guitar. There's a beat playing in the studio. Oliver runs into the booth and he starts freestyling and we write this song just like that. It was strokesy kind of guitar and I'm I want to do that.
That's sick.
I want to join a band and quit a band every day. And then pandemic happened and I was working on via Zoom, I was working with the artist Fitz from Fitz and the Tantrums on his solo. He was doing a solo record, and me, him, and another producer, the world shut down. So we were just writing his album that way. And then we were at sort of the end of that, and I'm like, man, that was amazing. I don't want to do the serial dating, writing via Zoom. So one night I watched 2 movies, Big Lebowski and Trainspotting.
Right.
And I'm like, all right. The next day I wrote this song, and I'm like, this sounds like Big Lebowski rock. I feel like that's what we're going to do.
Fair. So wild combo, by the way.
I know,
Big
dude.
Lebowski and Trainspotting.
I know. A little bit of the UK kind of edge to it. And
edge, kind of listening to trance.
Intoxicated.
Listening to a little bit of...
what's that? Born Slippy?
Underworld. Or is it Underworld, right?
Yeah. Maybe the song's called Born Slippy.
Yeah, no, the song Born Slippy. Yeah, no, I actually was listening to that the other day.
Same.
That was, right?
How funny is that? No one's listening to that. Well, so a little bit of that, and then started this Big Lebowski rock sort of thing. Started the band, got my bass player, my drummer from the old band. We started and didn't know how serious it was until we started getting tours. First tours with Offspring, which was crazy.
Wow, yeah.
And then we toured last year for half the year with Hardy, and that's when it became real. Hardy's been popping off, and that was when he was really popping off, going from country to rock, and his show was like half country, half rock.
Really?
But it felt like we were like opening up for like Motley Crue or something, because he sold out the whole tour in 10 seconds, and it was like anywhere from like 2,000 to like 10,000 people a night, but they were all there right when we like got there, so it felt like we were playing a headline show, and we're playing these songs. I'm like, this is working. This is we are connecting. It was awesome, man. It was pretty surreal, and that's when it got really serious. And then the new chapter was born at the end of last year. So we have all these, like, I call them Big Lebowski anthems, and then I'm working with the producer one day, and I walk in there, and normally he's in Nashville, right. And normally we have like the best time ever. It's always like good. We get in there, we're just like recording songs, and we had all these songs recorded, like track drums to, and he's having a kind of a rough day. And I walk in, he's got his hand up, which means like, get out of here, because he's like zooming on this Zoom that he didn't want to be on or whatever. And I picked up a guitar, ran to another room, and I just wrote like the beginning of the break, like, she kissed me, like that little thing. Yeah. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. I don't know who it's for. I'm writing with a lot of artists these days. I'm like, it's cool. And I walk in, and he's sitting in his chair, kind of like hunched over. And I'm like, I got to break the ice. So I just sit there and start playing this thing, and he just looks up. He goes, that's really good. And then he goes, keep playing. And I like start playing, and then he starts throwing out lyrics, which had never happened with us before. So we wrote this new song that was like completely different for the band. I mean, we're not screaming at you in the chorus. It's like, it felt really good, but I was like, man, I don't know. I mean, it feels like it's us. The story's us. We both tapped into old heartbreak, and like it happened so quick and organically. I went over he had a kegerator. I went over and got a beer, and I saw a wine glass, and I put the beer in a wine glass. I'm like, that's the new direction. It's beer in a wine glass. And
beer in a wine glass.
Struck me.
I've done it before. You've
done it before. Not a lot of people ever think to do that.
No, I mean, well, I did it for the bit, right?
Oh yeah.
It's fun doing things for the bit. It kind of works.
The beer tastes better.
The beer does taste better.
You feel better. You feel classier. Yeah. And you pour a little High Life in there, the champagne of beers, and it's like, this is how it's meant to be.
Yeah, you're kind of holding it with like two fingers.
Yeah, dude,
at the bottom.
Pinky up.
Pinky up, yeah.
But yeah, so that was born that day, and then we just have continued to stay there. Like these songs, I'm usually going to Nashville. I used to write them in LA, like out in LA, and bring the songs in. But now I go to Nashville, and we have nothing when I walk into the room with him, and we write the song, we produce it up, and this whole like beer in a wine glass chapter is just like unleashed.
Again, this is David at 94.3 The X, no co-alt. You were talking about working with, or like going on tour with Hardy.
Yep.
Doing things like that. And I, of course, saw that you opened for, bands that I really like, like Deer Hunter, like Death Cab, stuff like that.
Yep.
But I was wondering, like, what is one of those moments where you just like super shocked about like when you were playing, or just somebody you met on tour? It doesn't like have to be you opening.
I show-wise, when we played with Offspring, we played, it was the first tour we ever got. We did a couple days to those guys. And we played the Aragon Ballroom in Chicago, which was a bucket list venue, which I never thought, like my last band, we would have never played there. We played a lot smaller venues, and it was just us and them. And up there playing that was the moment. That was the first moment I had in this band. I'm like, this is crazy. I mean, I've been doing this for a while, but it feels like this is the first time I'm doing it.
Right.
It like felt reinvigorated. And then of course with Hardy, every night his crowd is so incredible. Like I've never met a crowd. We didn't know if we'd be received because he's a country artist and a rock artist, right? And when we were on stage connecting to those fans, I'm like, man, maybe we go a little country because these fans are crazy. And this is like this is kind of what I want.
Is that the next route for Blame My You?
No.
Is that the next?
Unfortunately, the Chicago twang isn't there. But I just like, man, I'll play those shows, Thursday, Friday, Saturday shows, because that's like the country music touring. It's not like you get in the van and trailer and you go off for 3 months, which we've done our whole career. This is just like they bust out of Nashville. You go and you play 3 dates, you come home, and then you can write and have like an awesome life. And I'm like, man, we got to figure that out. We got to reinvent the touring for rock artists, I think.
Got to invent the touring.
Reinvent the wheel.
The touring.
Reinvent the wheel. Weekend Warrior, baby.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you're listening to 94.3 The X, no co-alt. David here, and I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
I do this with everybody. I think it's a great question because not only does it help the listener here at 94.3 The X, I think it's great to get recommendations. I want recommendations because we always play new stuff.
I've got some.
From people like Blame My Youth. I don't know if you heard of it.
Yep. You know what? I've heard a lot of good things.
A lot of good things.
Beer and a wine glass music? Those guys?
Beer and a wine glass music? Yeah, that might be a new avenue for a lot of people here.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to know what you've been listening to, or one of your all-time favorite albums or anything like that that you would want to show to somebody.
The newest artist, and the artist that I show most frequently in sessions when I'm doing writing sessions, even for other artists to inspire, is an artist named Gene Dawson. Do you know Gene Dawson? Dude,
I love Gene
Not
Dawson.
A lot of people know, like Gene Dawson, I think, is one of the most important artists like out there right now. He's got his own voice, his own unique lyrical perspective, writing the sound. I first heard Menthol. Menthol, I heard that song and it blew my mind. I showed everybody. I sent it to everyone I know. It's the one where Mac DeMarco's guitar is playing. Maybe they wrote it together, but that song just takes off in a way that I haven't heard a song in a long time. Like it goes from like raging, kind of punk, post-punk, to Bon Iver, very beautiful music, which showcases his voice.
That's what he did on Chaos Now. Like,
dude,
a lot.
Dude, I love that. That is one of the best. I mean, I think he's really vital and important. And another artist that I've loved since SZA, I think she wrote Consideration off of Anti for Rihanna, and I discovered her that way. And then she put out Control, and I've just became like a big SZA fan. And then I don't know if you've heard the most recent single. It's Gene Dawson and SZA.
It's crazy.
No Seasons, SZNS. That song is one of my favorites, and it's a slow burn, right? They create a lot of like thematic like tension before you get to the hook. But when you get to the hook, it's so Gene Dawson, and then you're rewarded. Especially if you're a SZA fan, she comes in on the verse, and then they're both singing the next chorus together. And I feel like the most important artists right now on one song. But a lot of people don't know Gene Dawson.
I feel like it's got to be soon. It has to be.
I've been saying that since I heard Menthol.
I've been saying that. I listened to, when I got introduced, it was Pixel Bath.
Oh yeah,
that's the one I got
introduced. Before. I've seen the video for Pixel Bath. Maybe it was after. Yeah. But have you seen some of the videos he's done?
They're crazy.
If you're listening, go Gene Dawson, Pirate Radio, YouTube, watch that video. It'll blow your mind. You'll be captivated. Dude, I don't, which is the one where he's like, the video where he's like hanging off the truck or the car for a lot of it?
That's Power Freaks.
Power Freaks. That, like, I listened to the song and liked the song, saw the video and fell in love. Crazy. Yeah, he's just next level, man. I've been trying. We have a song that we haven't put out. We've had it for a while. It's called Hero. I don't know if it's ever coming out. It's one of my favorites, but we reached out to try to get him to direct a video, and his team like had reached back, and there was some talk, but that is my dream collaboration. I've met with his producers because I want to write with him, but he doesn't work with songwriters. He writes just him and the producer.
Oh, wow.
But one day I'm after it.
That's amazing. That's so cool. What's next for Blame My Youth?
Finishing the album. So we're about halfway there, and I feel like every time, we actually had a whole album of the old kind of Big Lebowski rock style of stuff, very good, but like, I mean, felt very compelling. We tracked drums and everything in Nashville, and then we accidentally discovered this new direction that felt good to everybody, the band included. We're like, more of this. So we restarted, and the thing is, every time I get in the studio, we go to track the song we had written previously, and we write a new song. And it's like, it's the never-ending album that we have to one day, we're getting close to finishing it, but we just, the relationship with Joey and I just writing these songs that just like started happening it's just, we don't want to miss out on that next song. So we are just stockpiling right now, but
Fair.
I think by the end of the year, we could have an album.
I mean, I've noticed that, an artist is threatening an album right now. Where they're like, something might be coming when the singles all have the same cover.
Yeah, that's us now. We have the songs. We have the next song coming out. It's called Olay. Comes out in like a month or so, but we have a bunch of songs we feel like are our next level songs. We just have to record the rest of it still.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for coming in and chatting.
Big Dave.
Yeah, Big Dave here. David here, 94.3 The X. But again, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you.
Awesome, man. Good talking with you.
Great talking, yeah.